Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games, the Week in Games. This is a weekly segment I do every few weeks, sporadically and uncontrollably, to kind of just update, check in, see how it's going, and what's new in the industry since the last time I did a Week in Games at an indeterminate time in the past. So, just to let you know, as always, the key to mastering inconsistency is to maintain a semi-consistent consistency. There's no need to like or subscribe. There's no need to even liking to subscribe to me. This is about low budget conversation videos. I don't ever accept free copies. I buy what I review so that my skin is in the game, so to speak. And just here to talk about the sincere joy of board gaming. So, what is new and how is life? Well, the last time we did an update, I was in Arizona with that beautiful picture on the right. A lot of that is I'm now up in the Pacific Northwest again until at some point in mid-September I'm going to head back down again because I need heat. I need heat. All of my friends and family, everyone I know loves temperate temperatures. Not me. I want heat. I want 116. And it won't be 116 by the time I get down there, but it'll still be hot. In other news, some of you know I rent out my house and I live in an RV, and so I've discovered that RVs are basically junk. And even the best one, and this one here is pretty close to the fancy outside, but inside, yes, inside is yeah. One of the things about leaving for an extended period of time is when you come back, little critters do not respect the no trespassing sign. And so I've been spending the last couple of weeks not playing as many board games as I have carrying out the underbelly and rebuilding it. So I'm looking forward to get back to Arizona, but not until I can make sure those critters don't come back and become 10 times the son of perdition as when they've left. So anyway, but yeah, how about you guys? What are you doing in the last week? Again, this is probably the closest I've ever been between weekend games in years. So but in news, we do have a lot of stuff going on. I don't usually like to do the bad news, but it is true that there's definitely some shaking and seismic changes in the industry, and companies like Come On losing money, which does lead me to believe that some of my money was thrown upon the waters, and I won't find it after many days. And so we will see how that goes. There's lots of crowdfunding apologies and pleas and ads and stuff like that, and some of which I'm skeptical about. A lot of which I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll help. Whatever. We'll help out. So, I mean, everyone's got sort of their pension on it. My thing is, I just hope that it settles down and that we can get great games the way we've been getting in the last few years, and can continue to go. By now, some of you know that Space Core 2025 has been released on digital. I started a 3-part series of me playing the game. So if you ever have insomnia or you just really, really, really want to bore your dog to death, just put it on and watch me flail about. In other words, tomorrow arrives Star Wars Battle of Hoth, which I'm looking forward to because of the changes to the Memoir 44 system. To see how those work out, we'll let you know there. In other news, people who are on my channel know that I really, really I'm always on the lookout for board game channels that, like me, just love it just do a little channel for the passion of the game. There's so many money-making, high-powered, 100,000 subscriber places, and that's great. And they do a great service by providing high-quality stuff. That's not me. And so when I find someone else who's just doing it for the love of the game, I want to call them out. And so Ray Fay, a discriminating gamer friend, or someone from the channel Discriminating Gamer, started a little bit of a just channel of their own to kind of talk about games just like I do. And so if you get a chance, check out Ray Fay. I love his style. He's just no nonsense talking about it. We had some interesting discussion about Sniper Elite and kind of the line of sight rules where he was able to easily grab onto them. I generally have more difficulty with that, but then I generally have more difficulty with a lot of concepts in life. So, but yeah, check him out if you can. In other news, SkyTeam, the award-winning 2-player learn to fly an aircraft together and land safely without talking to each other, which some of the flights I've taken recently made me suggest maybe that's a little too realistic. They're coming out with a game called Tag Team, which looks like it's kind of an auto battler style game, which may be of interest to stuff. And if any of you are super interested in spending over the top money for a huge crazy game, Ark Nova is doing a super duper deluxe edition for $300-$400, where the actual pieces of the zoo are actually really painted pieces and all that. So I mean, you really have to love that game, or you really have to want to just throw caution to the wind and get it. It's still a little over a year out, which is always a conservative estimate before it comes out. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, well, rock on. And now we'll get to my question of the week. One of the things that came up as I was talking was because some of my friends were like, you don't do as much as you used to do, which is true. We all know there's life circumstances, but how important, when you get a review, when you're going to go watch a review of a game, how important is it to have a rules explanation um, as part of the review? Because some of the reviews I noticed, they start talking about it. They might show screenshots, they might show pictures. This is actually a pretty tangible, helpful thing for me to know, because I'm of the mindset that running through at least the flow of the game in real time. Again, not doing a full simulation or playthrough. There are people out there way better than me at doing that. But some people like, why don't you just to cut would it go a little better if you just kind of talked about the game instead of doing the whole playthrough part to trim off the time? And I feel strongly, unless people are like, yeah, that's totally unnecessary. And looking at the trends, it does appear that a lot of times people will watch and they'll kind of dip away and then go back to that you'll see the metrics or whatever, like talk, and then you just cut to the chase kind of thing. But in general, I feel very strongly that a playthrough of some kind is essential. But what are your thoughts on that? You guys watch reviews and feel that is a value, that it is valuable enough? Or would you feel like if he just explained the game and gave his thoughts, that would be sufficient? So I want to know, because the vote's out. But right now, I feel like the values that I've gotten from reviews before have always included at least some way for me to see what the game's about visually, particularly ones I didn't know about. So yeah, just let me know. Let me know what you think on that one. So with that, let's get into playing, watching, and reading. What am I playing lately? This is not going to be very much different than it has been. I still play Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition. It's on a perma table. I'm calling them perma tables now, where we're going to be doing permanent tables, because the game is just, it takes so many turns and times and all that to set it up. I just keep it on the same table. I have the luxury of doing that right now, but that's, most people don't. Vantage, I'm still into. I still have a lot of disparate people who really like the experience of playing through it. It really is more of an experience maker than it is a board game in ways that you would conventionally see. Company of Heroes Second Edition, I got back to the table. Still haven't got the 4-player game, but I got the 2-player going on still, and that is taking the lion's share. That one too, that one's a larger table presence than Fields of Fire, but it's also a super cool looking game, and so I never have a problem with that. The Anarchy is a game I've set up that is probably the first roll and write that I've come to actually love, not just like or feel okay about. And then I just got Fief England in, and Fief England it's a simulator of sorts. It's sort of like, imagine the Lost Kingdom board game, but without the abstraction and the ties to the TV series, but a real living, breathing, almost like if you mixed Pax Renaissance with the Last Kingdom kind of style. That's what you get so far. As for video games, I am really excited for Endless Legend 2. I'm a huge strategy game player, particularly the old school stuff. Space Core 2025, like I said, you've already seen me with the reviews and whatever. And then Heroes of Might and Magic, the Olden Era, is also coming out. And Heroes of Might and Magic 3 is still the anchor by which I judge almost all strategy games. That and Fantasy General and Panzer General and well, 10,000 other thing, Empire Deluxe. Anyway, but I am looking forward for those things. But in the meantime, yes, Endless Legend 2 is dominated my thoughts, as well as the game I'm working on, but that I can't talk about at all. Playing, watching, reading. I was suggested to me to watch The Lion in Winter, which is a film from 1968 that has some of the most iconic classic television stars, movie stars, and I had never seen it. And I watched it and I was just enthralled. A movie set in the era of its time with some of the most amazing, repeatable, iconic dialogue. Oh my gosh, how I missed that, I don't know. But highly suggested if you have some time to watch it and just listen for all the dialogue, the nuances. Katharine Hepburn, for crying out loud, Peter O'Toole, like Timothy Dalton. Oh my gosh, the whole Anyway, still watching through Justified, which a couple of you commented we're also watching through it and stuff, and enjoying that. And then I'm trying to finish The Tick, but I don't know that I'm going to. It seems to kind of be petering out for me. So always up for suggestions for other things, but right now, kind of phasing. As for reading, I'm the Old Testament's done, Synoptic Gospels, going through them. Mark Herman put out a book that I started reading back when it came out earlier this year, and I've kind of gone back to it. Mark Herman's new book, Art of Wargaming, or Wargaming, I think is the title, really covers all of his history, his half century of wargaming and concepts and background, and it's really compelling. You will read this and then you'll want to go play one of his games because you'll get some more background. And because my granddaughter is starting school, her favorite book is The Hungry Caterpillar. And so, if you want some serious reading, Hungry Caterpillar. And that is it. I'm changing over. I had a section that I started doing, which is like Two Truths and a Lie, but I really didn't feel like that had much traction. And so I'm going to try something different for the last segment. You tell me if you like this or not. To accommodate people going, do more reviews, I'm going to do rapid fire one-liners. I'm going to go through my entire BGG collection, and I'm going to give you, as best as I can, my quick thoughts on games in my collection in one sentence or less. So we all ready? Cool. 10 Days in Africa, the best of the 10 Days series. 10 Days in Asia, the more convoluted of the 10 Days series. 10 Days in Europe, my second favorite, with a little bit of the mix in between the two 10 Days. 10 Days in the Americas, oddly, not my favorite in the series. 1066, Tears Too Many Mothers, The Battle of Hastings, a great first foray for the designer in a compact card-based simulation. 1775, Rebellion, still a compelling, albeit non flashy representation of the era. 1776, the game of the American Revolutionary War, still holds up after all these years. 18 Holes is 62% in the realm of good. 1862 Railway Mania in the Eastern Counties. Why it's on my list when I don't own it? That's a mystery. 1818, 1919, Storm in the West, a little bit too diluted from the standard fare from the designer. 1055, The War of Espionage, so abstract that I didn't feel like I spied on anything. And that's what we have, so we'll give that a shot. What a time to be alive. We have so many things to be grateful for in the board game industry, despite it all. There we go. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.